So today we're going to be looking at the Dbal D2 by Steiner. This is an IR Illuminator, IR laser and Viz laser device. What does that mean? It means that it is a really bright flashlight with a laser that is invisible to the naked eye and only visible under night vision, which is pretty fucking badass. It also has a Viz laser, or a visible laser, that is visible to the naked eye, and that is slave to the IR laser, which is pretty neat. Is it necessary? No, but I feel like it's probably one of the selling points of the D2 in that it has the IR Illuminator, IR laser, and IR and Viz laser. And having those three features is pretty nice. It's convenient, you know, and it's not only convenient for like zeroing your rifle, but you know, having a Viz laser, there's times when it's dark, but not dark enough to use nods. And, you know, those are rare, but I mean, it's still nice to have like a Viz laser in those situations. So the first thing you're going to notice with this device is that it is pretty chunky. I mean, this thing is thick. And most of it is due to the IR Illuminator. And let me tell you, when compared to other IR devices in the market, the IR Illuminator, it totally kicks ass. I mean, it's one of the better IR Illuminators that you can get. And it's super bright. It has a very tight beam pattern. It's very throwy. You can easily throw this out to like hundreds of yards. And there's a ton of videos online that kind of show you the IR Illuminator. And I can tell you, from my perspective, when using it, it is absolutely 100% capable. The only issues with it are that it has this like bezel that's really hard to move to adjust the beam pattern, and it's like really lengthy to like change it, and it doesn't really honestly change it too much. And so that's why I'd recommend one of these things, which is like a diffuser. With this thing, you just pop it in place, and you have a really tight beam pattern that you can easily switch to like a more diffused light pattern for like close quarters, you know, when you do your CQB shit, as you're doing your tactics. So that's great, but that's something that you have to buy separately. Another thing that is kind of a quirk about this device is that the activation button is behind the device and not on top. So when you mount this on the 12 o'clock position on your rifle, I'm going to recommend, unless it feels good to you, it doesn't to me, you get something like a mod light button, and it just connects back here, and then you can just connect this on the pick rail and you'd be good to go. But that is an upgrade that you have to, you know, pay for out of your own pocket. Also, another thing is that there's an option to put like a leaf iron sight. So when this device is on the 12 o'clock position, right here on your rifle, you have this iron sight. And that's really cool. I mean, if you care about it, I mean, that's a nice feature to have. And that's an upgrade that I would recommend. But these are all things that I wish came, you know, with the device from the factory, but it doesn't. And in terms of like performance, like I said, the Illuminator is pretty badass. The laser, however, I mean, it is a civilian class laser, so it works. It's totally serviceable. I also wish, however, it had just a little bit more power. That said, I think that there are going to be very rare situations where you're going to find yourself kind of lacking in that department. Like in the sense of you probably are going to be just fine with the power of the laser as it is. But it would be nice to have a higher laser. And yeah, so this is the low vis and high vis. It's a Viz laser. It is green, which is cool because it is. And those are the IR settings. Also, the QD mount lever on this thing is really sweet. It's nice. I mean, it functions pretty nicely. It seems solid and robust. And it's pretty easy just to take on and off your rifle. It takes 123A batteries, which is great. It's not actually that heavy compared to other IR devices. I mean, it's perfectly, I mean, it is going to be, you know what I mean? If you have this and a white light at the end of your rifle, it's definitely going to start to be a little cumbersome, I guess. But, you know, for what it is and what's available on the market, it's pretty good. And I would say that if you're going to get an IR device, I would probably recommend the Dbal D2. I've heard that these connectors on the mod light button sometimes tear off or they cause issues with this connector in the back. So that's something to be mindful of. What's cool about this is, you know, this is made by Steiner and there is a warranty. However, I've heard that the warranty is a pain in the ass to deal with. So, you know, take that as you will. So yeah, so I'd recommend this, you know, device. Is it worth what it retails for? I think it retails for like $1,500 or something. If you get it on sale, it's like $1,200 or something like that. Is it worth that? Fuck no. I don't think any of these devices are worth that. But, you know, with the state of what it is right now in terms of what's available, this is probably one of the better choices. So yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks.